This is the SBA Update, exclusively on ASBN.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. You're watching the SBA Update. The small businesses in the affected areas of Hurricane Helene are now facing the daunting task of rebuilding. The good news is that there's help available. Today we'll be exploring how those affected can tap into critical resources from the SBA. Here now is the SBA Regional Administrator, Mr. Alan Thomas. You've seen him here before on our network, and Fleming, Director of the SBA's Field Operations and Disaster Recovery. Welcome, gentlemen. I know that you are both extremely busy, so we appreciate all the time you're giving us here at the show. And so I'll start with you, Alan. Talk to us about Hurricane Helene. This has been just like no other. I think it's the second largest hurricane disaster, right, in the history of the country.
Well, Jim, it's one that's unprecedented, especially in terms of scale, scope, and where it impacted. We traditionally hear of hurricanes along the coast, and we're well prepared and we're hardened along, especially the southeastern United States and the Caribbean, to deal with hurricanes. The mountains are just not prepared for this type of flash flooding, and we have some areas that had close to 30 inches of rain within a 24 to 48-hour period. And that is just and the power outages. You can literally at night look and see like the finger of God from the panhandle of Florida all the way up through Virginia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. So we've got a lot to deal with. This storm hooked left when most storms hook right, and so we've got a lot of states and a lot of people right now and we really appreciate this platform to really to put on display all the disaster resources that SBA and FEMA and all the other local and regional partners come together. Thousands of volunteers, thousands of federal responders are already on the ground and will continue to be there. And we will be there for as long as it takes to make sure people are made whole and better than we found them.
Sure, that is fantastic news for everyone that's out there and affected by it. Kem, what's the SBA's role with Hurricane Helene? What does that look like?
Well, the SBA has a disaster loan program specifically for disaster survivors. And this is low interest loans for homeowners, businesses, and nonprofits. And these loans are made available during these type of disasters. And I'd just like to go over a couple of the specifics of the loan. You know, for business owners, that loan amount can be up to $2 million.
Wow.
And that's to replace that's to repair physical damage, replace inventory. But we've also got a component called working capital or economic injury. And so, you can do that for, lost revenues. So, but that loan amount could be up to $2 million. For homeowners, that loan amount is $500,000. Okay, and that's for the replace the structure, repair your home. In addition to that, you can get up to $100,000 for personal property. That's to furnishing your house, even an automobile. And these interest rates are very low. For businesses, as low as 4%. For nonprofits, it's 3.25. For nonprofits, it's 2.813. And a lot of these loans can be financed up to 30 years. So it's a great benefit. And another key component is when you close these loans, you get zero interest accrual for 12 months.
Oh, wow.
With no payment. So you don't have no payment and no interest accrual for 12 months when you get the loan. And the other piece is that, $50,000 of any amount that you get is unsecured. It's like a signature loan. Okay. So all you have to do is sign the contract and we give you $50,000 for that loan. So it's kind of like our signature loan. One of the good components of the loan that I really like to talk about, and Alan was talking about, folks are not used to flooding, is our mitigation piece, meaning that, what can you do to prevent this from happening to you again? If it was a hurricane, it would be safe rooms. It was flooding, you take your air conditioning and put it on the roof. If you was running a business and you lost all your inventory because you lost electricity, well, you get a generator, and we'll give you 20% of your loan value, of your eligibility to mitigate those things. And so those are some good components of this program that SBA brings to the table in the form of low interest loans.
That is fantastic. And it sounded like what you were just saying was this also helps not just small business owners, but homeowners as well.
Yeah, businesses of all sizes, homeowners, renters, and private nonprofit organizations.
Wow, that is fantastic. Yeah, you guys are definitely out in force helping everybody, really. So so talk to us, Alan. How do these people go about applying for these funds? I mean, because obviously, a lot of cases they're just completely shut down, right, with communication and such. Or is it easy? Is it easy to get the money?
Right, and I know that's a lot of information. So two things I'll point out. Obviously, you can go to sba.gov/disaster. So again, sba.gov/disaster or sba.gov/hurricane-Helene, and Helene is Helene.
Okay.
So again, sba.gov/hurricane-Helene. So here's all you need. If you need assistance, you can go online right now.
Okay.
If you have an email address and anybody's cell phone, anybody's smartphone,
okay,
you can go to those web addresses I just mentioned to you, sba.gov/disaster.
Yep. We'll show them right here on the screen.
Yes, exactly. And go ahead and get your name and get your process going. There is a window of time,
okay,
and Kim will talk more about that, in which you can apply for support. And here's the other key factor. Even if you think you have insurance, many times you think you have insurance coverages, and unfortunately in the fine print, I think I mentioned to you before the show that around 1% of people in the western part of North Carolina and in that Appalachian mountain area, around 1% have flood insurance. Because a lot of people just aren't going to be covered. So if you go ahead and apply for this resource and this loan, whether it's your business, your home as a renter, or whatever it is, you can have this going. And if you decide not to use it, or if you want to go ahead and use it, then have your insurance take it out later. There's a lot of flexibility with these resources, but it's kind of like Ed McMahon says in Publishers Clearinghouse, you have to enter to win. So if you want to get access to these resources, we encourage everyone now to go to sba.gov/disaster, get your name and information in, and then you can decide whether you want to pursue further or not. But this will make a fundamental difference in years and how quickly you and your community can recover and be resilient.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And Kem, what amount of time are we talking about here? How long would somebody have to wait to be funded?
Well, it depends on, for businesses, the time frame can vary between 7 to 10 days to 2 weeks, depending on the complexity of the
That's not terrible.
Yeah. So, and I just want to highlight what Alan said. And our motto is just apply, right? And you can go ahead and start down that road to recovery. And the great thing about the program is that we charge you. If you apply for the loan, it's no cost to you. If you decide to take the money, it's no cost. If you say, okay, you can get right up to closing and say, okay, I don't want it, it's no cost. So it's like Alan, just apply and then get it, because and of course, the quicker you apply, the quicker you can get in the queue to get funded, the quicker you can get that money into your account, the quicker that you can start rebuilding. So, I would advise anyone to just go ahead, visit one of the local field centers or go to SBA.gov, because we have actual physical centers up. So when you go to SBA.gov, you can go and look at where our field centers are. You can actually walk in and somebody can help you through the application process. The sooner you get that started, the sooner you can get on the road to recovery.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys you're geared up for disasters like this, right? Whether it be a fire or a flood or a hurricane or a tornado, you're ready in action. I mean, it seems like the next day, right?
Yes, we probably across Helene in North Carolina, in Florida, in South Carolina, we got boots on the ground.
Wow.
We got folks ready to go out and help. We're going to probably open up a lot of field centers this weekend that give that direct customer assistance. So we're prepared. This is our job. This is what we do every day. And we're probably responding to over 70 disasters across the country right now.
Wow.
So this is what we do. We got great staff that's willing to help in the field to make sure that you get all of the federal assistance that you need.
Yeah, for sure. Alan, I'll give you the final word here. This is exactly what the SBA is known for, helping out small business owners and citizens in events just like this, right?
Well, Jim, it is. We've talked about all the great programs with SBA and the millions in traditional lending that we provided. We serve as a vanguard for small businesses. But when it comes to circumstances like this, we are the first line of resource. We're there for you. FEMA is there to make sure you're safe, you're fed and taken care of. Then SBA shows up also within the same heartbeat, and we're there with you for the long haul, and we rebuild entire communities, entire regions. That is what we do That's what we do best.
Yeah.
Whether it was the COVID response, whether it's tornadoes in Tennessee or Kentucky and other places, Katrina, all that happened in New Orleans and other areas.
Yeah.
We're ready, and we're ready to get there for you and connect you with the resources you need to rebuild your community and be here to be able to make you prosper again and turn it into something that can be something we all learn from and get better from.
That's great. That's great. For everyone that's listening, we're showing all the information on the screen here as to how to get a hold of the SBA. And so please listen to these two gentlemen. Get your application in early. Make that contact as early as you can. Sounds like you could be funded within the next 10 days to 2 weeks, which, just knowing the money's coming can change your life instantly. So I encourage everybody that needs this money in those regions to go ahead and do that. To your point, gentlemen, even if they don't need it, it's nice to know you got it in the back pocket, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and do that, folks. And so SBA Regional Administrator Alan Thomas and Kem Fleming, Director of SBA's Field Operations and Disaster Recovery. I don't know how he sleeps at night. He must be very busy. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the time you've given us, and I know you're going to get right back at it and helping citizens in those regions. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching the SBA Update, exclusively on ASBN.